The clock is ticking. This is our machinery. This is our truck. We need to destroy this truck in the next 2 days. Hello everyone. Welcome to the CODECHEF April Long Challenge 2021. The question in our plate is destroy the EMP chip. This is a CODECHEF's very tedious question and people just give up reading the question, but I explain it to you and you can solve it in just one day. Guys, remember Amazon is hiring. The algorithm playlist linked in the description will teach you every approach to such variety of questions. Do subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Share and like and subscribe. Thank you. Let's begin with the question. Let us begin with the question prompt. Destroy the EMP chip. Guys, stay with me slide by slide because every point is important here and it's just an easy solution to it, a if else solution to it. Let's read. A mysterious organization has stolen an EMP chip prototype from a high-tech US facility. Okay, we can understand some EMP chip is missing. IGI knows the consequences of the chip falling into the wrong hands. Since it's a prototype, they wish to destroy it completely instead of attempting to retrieve it. The best opportunity to do so is when the chip is being transferred from one base to the another in a secure truck. So we need to destroy this truck which contains an EMP chip, right? The truck can move into an infinite two-dimensional plane. Initially, it is located at some point with integer coordinates h, k. Unfortunately, this point and the route of the truck is going to follow are unknown. All right. To accomplish this task, David Jones can use two kind of weapons in the following feedback system. So we'll understand this, right? Now see, this slide will give you an intuition to what is happening. Now this truck can move into an infinite 2D plane and we don't know its initial coordinates, neither do we know the way it's going to move. We have two options. We have a hellfire, which looks something like this, and we have a ring fire, right? Now we'll understand what hellfire and ring fire can do. Anything lying at this point is instantly destroyed. So hellfire attacks at a single point x, y and it destroys it completely. Then the feedback of one of the following strings. So it gives you a feedback after the operation is performed. So let us just assume that the truck is at some point over here. And let us just say this point is A, B, the truck's current position. Now it says that it's a O, the operation is successful if x equals to A and y equals to B. So if I directly fire it at A, B, then the truck is going to be destroyed. The operation is over, the program is successful, right? Py, it will return you, the function will return you a py if x is greater than A but y is equal to b. So if this is my a comma b, if x is greater than a but y is equals to b, if something is in this line, all right, then it will return you a py. So when it will return you a py, when x is greater than a but y is equals to b, it will return you a ny if x is less than a and y is. So it can give you an idea, the string gives you an idea about where the truck might be, all of these strings combined. So if you get a ny, you know that the truck is somewhere in that line ahead of where we have fired it actually. So you get a xp. Now you got to see this, you got a xp when x equals to a and y is greater than b. So if you will get a xp if you have fired somewhere here, right, and you will get a xn if you fired somewhere here. Say let's take a different color, right? So you know you have to remember all this py, ny, xp, pp if x is greater than a. So pp is this particular region actually, right? This will return you a pp. What is pn? If x is greater than a but y is less than b. So pp is this particular region, sorry, pn is this particular region. Then you have np, and we have two more regions, right? Then you have np where x is less than a, y is greater than b. So this region, and you have one more region remaining, this region. So Hellfire returns you these strings which can let you understand where the truck is at the very first step. This is the function of a Hellfire. Now what a ring fire can do to you? What are the benefits that a ring fire can provide? See, a ring fire applied on a rectangular region. So you have to give two inputs, x1, y1 and x2, y2. If you provide these two, so if suppose x1, y1 is this point and x2, y2 is this point, it will destroy everything that lies on the perimeter of this rectangle, and it will return you a string. If the truck is within this rectangle, it will return you a in. If it is outside, it will return you an out. And if the truck is on the perimeter and you have successfully destroyed the truck, then it will give you an O. And once you get an O, you're supposed to stop, right? So this is the basic picture of what ring fire, what hellfire, and how they are returning. And I hope the visualization of is very clear of what is happening. I hope the operations of hellfire and ringfire were clear to you. Now, there are some more constraints to our given problem. In addition, if an attack is unsuccessful, the truck moves exactly d units to one of the four possible axis directions. It moves from current position a comma b to a plus d, a minus d, b plus d, b minus d. Not necessarily in the same direction for all unsuccessful attempts. The value of d is fixed and known. It can either be 0 or 1. So this is a little relief that at least d is equals to 1 or d is equals to 0, right? Now we are already given a position of the truck as a comma b. Now suppose for every unsuccessful attempts that we make, the truck can move in all of these white dots if originally it were in the black dot. So the truck can move here or here or here or here for every unsuccessful attempts. Now if you gauge, you can see that if I apply a ring fire, the green portion, a ring fire, then if the truck is at any one of the white dots, it will get destroyed. Can you get the feeling that when will the truck get destroyed even after it starts moving? If I can actually gauge this dot, I can know that it will definitely be on this perimeter, on this green perimeter. So if I just apply a ring fire using coordinates this and this, it will get destroyed, right? Now here is one more constraint. Every weapon can be used multiple times in any order. However, since using the weapons is costly, you may only make up Q attacks. Obviously, your task is to destroy the truck and receive O as a feedback. So Q is the given constant that you can only use Q times. You can only use your weapons Q times. Now you'll have to get a O before Q has expired, and you'll have to destroy the truck. Now the two benefits of two different weapon is, using hellfire you can get a more vivid information of where your truck might lie, and using ring fire you can get a more better approach of actually hitting the truck because it covers the periphery and there are more points that it covers while it fires. But hellfire just gives you a point blank, a point dot approach, right? Let us look at the instructions interaction quickly. First, you should read a line containing three spaced integer t, q and d. So d is 0 or 1, q is the number of attempts that you have, and t is the number of test cases, right? So if you use a hellfire attack, you need to print 1 being the first option, and x and y, the points where you want to hellfire, and it will lie in the range that is given in the constraints. If you use a ring fire, you need to use 2, the second option, and you have to give x1, y1 and x2, y2, the coordinates of the endpoints of the of the rectangle that you have, right? Then if you read a single line containing one string, so after each operation, if you get an unsuccessful attempt, it will return you a string. If you use ring fire, it will either give you a in as a output string or O as a out as a output string. If you use hellfire, you can get all of that pn, py, xy, xn, all of that strings. Then you need to read a string, read a single line containing one string. If you ask an invalid query or exceed the limit query, the string is failed. You should immediately terminate your program to receive the wrong answer verdict. So you'll have to give a wrong answer verdict if after even trying for q times you failed to kill the truck. Otherwise the string is going to feedback for your attack. So yeah, as soon as you receive a feedback O, you will stop making queries and continue solving the remaining test cases. So that test case is solved as soon as you get a O. So you have to get a O earliest and within the limits of Q. So there is no boundation कि 10 में ही करना है, 20 में ही करना है. अगर Q 60 दे रखा है तो आप 59 में भी कर लो, बट करो is important. अगर नहीं कर पाए तो wrong answer दिखा देगा. That is the point basically. Now let us understand this with a better example test case and exactly locate the truck with this test case, right? So I don't know where my truck is initially. I can see it right now at a position, but I don't know where my truck is initially. So what I did is I hellfired at point 0, 0 to know its actual coordinates, to have an idea about. So I hellfired here, right? Now see this, this is the given test case example. My truck initially is at 1, 2, but this I don't know. I'm just assuming it to be here 1, 2. So to understand where my truck is, I hellfired at 0, 0. As soon as I hellfired at 0, 0, the attack is unsuccessful, because if you are the luckiest man, then you will get it at 0, 0. The feedback is NN. Now what NN represents, if you remember, that X is less than A and Y is less than B. So I know that my truck is now in this region, this entire region my truck lies, NN this means. So I get an idea where my truck is actually, right? Okay. Now the truck, now there was a condition, right? If after every unsuccessful attempts, my truck will move a point where D is defined, here D is defined to be 1, and it will move 1 to that D plus minus A plus minus B, D plus minus A. So that. So my, I'm sorry, my truck was initially located here and it moved here at this position after one unsuccessful attempts. So what I did in the next step is I gave another hellfire attack, right? And I gave a hellfire attack at a random point 2, 3. So I gave a hellfire attack at, this is a 1, 2, 2, 3. I gave a hellfire attack here. Now this is my hellfire attack, all right? And it will return me something. So what the string the hellfire returns is XP. Now XP means X equals to A but Y is less than P. Now I know my truck at this particular attempt is somewhere in this line. I know this, right? Somewhere in this line and below. I'm sorry, not above but only below. So how to remove that? Only below, right? At this position I know my truck is somewhere here. What would be my next step? Now I know that the truck can move to its left, to its right. I am already at this point. I know this coordinate. Now I can give a ring fire attack, and my ring fire can have any parameter breadth of this. If my ring fire gives a this breadth parameter, I give a ring fire to the left corner 1, 0 and the top left corner 3, 3. Now this is 3, 3 and this is 1, 0, right? Hang on, this is not 1, 0. So yeah, I gave a hellfire attack here, 1, 0. If I give a hellfire attack here, I get to see that it returns me in. So now I know that where my truck has moved. My truck has moved somewhere within this range, right? It has moved somewhere within this range. It is not in the periphery. So what shall I do right now? I can take a guess. I can take another hellfire attack now, right? If I give a hellfire attack at 4, 0, but I don't think you need another hellfire attack. You can just do a ring fire attack here. So the fourth attack, if you just give it at 4, 0, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 0. If I give a hellfire attack here, what would it return? It returns Pn. Pn means X is less than A and Y is less than B. So I am just doing it. x is greater than a and y is less than b. So I'm just going in a wrong direction. The fifth attack is a hellfire attack again at point -1 comma 1. So it goes below this time, right? So it goes this side, -1 comma 1. Here is my attack. And then the attack is unsuccessful and the feedback is ny. It gives you this. Now it gives you an exact intuition of where my truck is. Now I know the truck is in this line. The sixth attack, the final attack, is a ring fire attack which attacks, and your truck is destroyed because the final moments where my truck lies is in this line. So they gave a ring fire attack probably at 2 cross 2, so it is 1 2 2 cross 2 and -2 comma 1, which is -2 comma 1 here. So it give you an ring fire attack at this entire region, and your final truck destination was somewhere here. So the truck got destroyed at this level. Now can you understand what is happening? It's all about attacking and then knowing your truck's position and then intuitively approaching to such a problem, right? If you got any better visualization in this video, do subscribe to my channel, and thank you for listening.